I just gotta lean into this shit.
It's tough, man. It's a lot of work.
No one asked your opinion on this, man. Didn't you?
Hey look, it's the best hats we've ever designed. They're on sale right now at corridordigital.com/store.
Do you ever have those dreams where you show up to school or work, you don't have any clothes on, you're like really embarrassed, everybody's laughing at you, and you just wake up in a cold sweat? Well, tomorrow that dream becomes a reality for Jake. He's going to have to show up and perform and be a producer in his underwear.
All right, welcome to the studio today. I'm working on becoming a zombie matador. I'm gonna be bullfighting a zombie who's gonna be played by Brett Driver. It'll be a ton of fun. Now the problem is, I don't know anything about being a matador, so I'm gonna have to try out some poses. And then in addition to that, I'm gonna be doing all of this in my underwear. The character gets dragged out of bed. Now he doesn't have shoes on, so I need to somehow fake wearing socks, making it look like I don't have shoes on. And the only way to do that, I think, is to make like a pad for my feet. So I've got this crafty foam here. I'm gonna measure out the size of my foot, and then I'm gonna cut it with the bandsaw, put it on the inside of these socks, and hopefully I'll be able to run around outside without hurting my feet. I'm Jake Watson. I'll be your host. I mean, wow.
Is that a foot or is that a foot?
That works pretty well.
All right. Oh, God damn it.
Well, you think I'm scared of a little hairs getting ripped out of my toes?
Honestly, could have bought flip-flops and
You know
put your
what,
socks on
Danny?
with them.
No one asked your opinion on this, man. Didn't you?
Cool lip padding. It makes me feel padding on the bottom.
I mean, I'm just trying to liberate myself, you know? I just put foam on the bottom of it.
That's awesome.
I just figured we live in such a shoe-bound world, you know?
That's so cool.
They believed it.
What's up, everybody? I'm Christian. I am the business manager here at Corridor Digital, and I will be producing the zombie video we are putting together. That video will be sponsored by The Walking Dead mobile game. We actually did a Sam and Nico promotion for them a few months back. If you remember, we did a little bit with Nick and Carmichael acting as Negan, and they came back and they said, we want something with the Corridor flair, the Corridor style, bigger scale. So
Might be janky, but at least it's planed.
The boys pulled me in to work on the Walking Dead spot to build a cage. It'll probably be PVC and wood to keep it light and transportable, and it needs to have a collapsible front so a character can pull it and open it up, and then the zombie comes out to attack the hero. I got 200 feet of PVC pipe cut at 7-foot lengths. The bars of the zombie cage will be 7 feet. Math. We've textured the edges, those are looking good, and we had textured the bars, so I lightly sprayed on them more matte black, and it actually led to an interesting bit of metal still kind of pokes through. With dry brushing, you just want the tiniest bit, so you put some on your brush and you can wipe it away. It's regular, and you just lightly hit it as light as you can. One design flaw of this is seal it all the way up. You have to do it from the inside. Zombie Brett, for the final screws, will have to drill them in himself on the inside. It's kind of how it goes. Lock yourself into your own prison. You know what, for the cut, because it's gonna, we do the rope pull shot and then we're gonna cut into it falling. With him have his hands on it, it'll probably already be out of it and falling by the time we cut where that cut's gonna happen. So that'll look nice.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, action!
It did it. My work is complete. Gosh, that lens is dusty in there.
Now, if you are squeamish, don't watch this.
In the newest Mission Impossible trailer, if you haven't heard yet, there's a shot of Tom Cruise making a leap from one building to the other, and he breaks his ankle. And they use that shot in the trailer, in the film itself, and it makes me proud. It makes me hopeful that it might be a good film. I love stunts in movies. I love real stunts, having a little bit of thrill and danger. The most respectful thing you can do for a stuntman is if they take a hit in a shot, you use that shot, because that is they have given their physical safety for that shot. Anytime the editor uses the shot or the actor or the stuntman actually hurt themselves doing a stunt, that just speaks to a certain level of authenticity. Like Jackie Chan broke his ankle jumping, well, Jackie Chan's broken a lot of things. He broke his ankle jumping onto a hovercraft from a bridge, and then you of course use that shot in the movie. Like in Terminator 2, there's like when the guy gets pulled out of the truck while it's driving by the T-1000, and his head smacks on the pavement. He was okay, but you know, James Cameron had to do it one more time. But they used a shot where he ended up smacking his head on the pavement. I was like, good. Aragon kicking the helmet and breaking his toe. Yep. That's another good one. There's actually in Back to the Future 2 with one of the stunts where they had to fly through some windows and like hoverboards. So they switched up everything after doing rehearsals at the last second. And the stunt woman wasn't comfortable with it, but they did it anyway. This is a good lesson. If you're uncomfortable with something, don't do it. At the end of the day, the buck stops with you. So they're all on wires, and there's at one point they get launched forward and they hit a release and they throw them through windows and they fall through onto these pads. Well, the stunt woman didn't actually make it through the window, and the guy who was observing wasn't in the right spot to observe and hits the release button without verifying that all 4 stuntmen are in the clear, and she gets dropped about 20 feet onto concrete. Here they go. They're on wires. And so they're supposed to fly through the glass here. And she bounces off the pillar and it slows her down. So they go through the glass.
These are multiple cameras, right?
Yeah, this is one stunt with multiple cameras. So they go through the glass. That's just a guy doing a little hit there. And you can actually see her just starting to fall into frame. And there's all pads on the inside, so there she is, falling right down, boom, onto the concrete point. But because she hit that pillar, she didn't make it through there to where the pads are. And the guy irresponsibly hits the release, and down she goes, right into the concrete. Smack. It's no good. But they use the shot. Because if you're gonna do a stunt, use the shot.
This is the internet edgelord's hat, in my opinion, because you're into high-tech stuff, but you're also like in touch with your own mortality. It's really deep. Also, if you don't get that, it just looks cool. I know you already saw that hat push, but here's another one. This is the first non-corridor digital piece of merchandise we've ever sold. It doesn't have our logo on it. It doesn't have anything. It's just a sweet design. And I think it's special because, you know, each time we design something, it's something that ideally we would like to wear as well. You know, something that's cool, actual like art. You know, trying to create a little bit of art for your everyday life. We finally hit it with this hat. This little VR skull guy here, designed by Jack Baum, broidery by Gabe. We have it in two styles here. I think it's pretty hip. This is the first hat that's like actually really cool. If you like the hat and hate what we do, it's fine. Just check out corridordigital.com/store. You can snag one there right now. These are a limited edition, so get them while they last.
Jake has become a much better actor throughout all the years. Tomorrow he's going to have to do a performance where there's gonna be, 15 crew members standing around. He's gonna have to be in his tidy whities on set, running around, doing stunts, remembering his lines, and doing a full-on performance. And sometimes people freeze up in that situation for very obvious reasons.
It's tough, man. I was doing the stances and stuff yesterday and like the hops. It's tough, man.
It's a lot of work. You're gonna see more of me today than you ever have, and more since GTA in real life.
Step into my office.
All right. Let's do this.
Eliza, just know that when I did this, I was focused on the art. I'm not just gonna hide in here and wait for my scene, dude. I just gotta lean into this shit. When I was a kid, I had psoriasis, and I used to get it on my eyes. People used to make fun of me. And it was like one of those things where once I figured out, I was just like, oh dude, I'm totally just gonna lean into this. And then it will be totally easier. It's just like dry skin. It just looked like my eyes were like red and crusty.
And how did you lean into it?
I just said, yeah, they are. And then I'd be like, you wanna touch them? You know, and then they'd be like, gross, weirdo, what's wrong with you? You know?
Yeah.
But that was a lot of an easier way to deal with it than being like, don't make fun of me.
Which would encourage them to do more.
Yeah. So when you're running around in your underwear, you don't like try to hide. You don't try to hide to the world that you're in your underwear. You just fucking get out there, you know? You just fucking go for it.
That was so inspirational.
Thanks, man.
I detected no shame or embarrassment whatsoever, which maybe isn't the best thing in the world. It was great. It was great. He nailed the character, he nailed the beats, did all the acting great. We had no wardrobe malfunctions. There was no wardrobe. Jake's a very good physical actor. Ever since we shot our very first short together, which was Frozen Crossing, he's always been able to use his body language to express a scene really well. And this scene not only required him to do a lot of Matador style work, but to do so in the vein of this one character who is figuring it out on the spot and more or less being a pretentious, smug douchebag in the process. Don't know how he prepared for it. I should ask him how he prepared for this scene. Brett is one of my favorite actors to work with. He is incredibly dedicated to his craft. But we're going to test how dedicated he is by putting him into intense zombie makeup. And I've never worked with him in that capacity. The thing is, we only have one day to shoot this, and it's taking longer than expected to get him ready. We have some really complicated fight scenes to shoot, not a lot of time to do it. And this is a man who's never been, no, this is a son who has never been in full zombie makeup before. So let's see what happens. Subscribe to find out.